All right, heading back now. I'll tell you, they hate when I take out my phone and start recording. All right, so then I went to the Korean grocery store just to get some potatoes and carrots, and they purposely send people there, like for example, they had these two lesbian couples there. I thought it was a boy at first. I was like, oh, okay, that's a girl. But the other one had on her earrings. She had unk earrings on, right? And so why do you think they do this? And it's purposely too, because while I was outside recording, you see the what you call the dike, right, which is the manly one. Stood up there, was constantly staring at me. And when I went in, she turned around and went to her girlfriend and started putting her elbows on her shoulders. And I was like, oh, well, hey, listen, they have gay couple, all walks of life, all belief system, so don't surprise me. Which again, but for me, if you believe in the African spiritual system, those type of lifestyle, I'm sure they were back then, but again, it wasn't something that was the norm, right? So, they always trying to insinuate some shit, okay? Or, I guess if black people, like there's a saying that they usually say, particularly these white conservatives, but the white liberals say too, right? They co-opted the word woke and used it in such a way to destroy it, right? So, and again, the word woke is again something that we use to, for those of us who attain knowledge of self, who understood and understand our history, right? Our true history, not the ones that the European made up. Okay, and again, you can find all these old books that they've hid. For example, Manly P. Hall, which is a book that was classified. Okay, The Age of Reasoning, The Age of All Reasoning by Manly P. Hall. Now, why would the U.S. government classify this book? There's certain books they just don't want you to read, but it's available now. All right, and again, these are very old books written 1700, some of them also in the 1600, which talks about African spirituality and African methodological systems, but also with the understand that the sciences, math, chemistry, all of that stuff was developed by and created by black people, black Africans. And it goes against the truth, goes against the white racist agenda, to make us as black people believe that we have no history outside of slavery and that black people were primitive. But yet you go into museums all over the world, and what do you find? You find African art. You find African art in which at the time Europeans, wasn't even thinking about doing stuff like that. They had just come out of the caves, right? So this is why Stonehenge, they make a big deal about Stonehenge, right? So imagine they call Stonehenge one of the wonders of the world, which it really isn't, and you can compare that to what Africans was doing thousands of years before Stonehenge. Okay? That's to tell you how advanced Africans were, okay? And they've done a good job of using wars and psychological tactics to manipulate us, poisoning us, destroying our intelligence through lies and miseducation, right? And so again, they'll attack me like this, particularly, like I said, Pam came home and started staring at my unk and started doing the palm fixation drill. Look, you're never gonna, once you know the truth, I don't care, you could not. Maybe some black people will go back into being asleep because again, they know that, it can you know, they get a job or what have you, or such and such, right? And you got to understand that when it comes to Christianity, and particularly Christians, they love to claim about other groups persecuting them, but they are the biggest group, religious group, to persecute other people. All right. So again, understand the deception, the lies, in order to keep us in a certain mental state, and not just black people, but white people too, Asian people too, who are Christians, right? Muslims also, but at least Muslims, particularly the Nation of Islam, and what they try to do here in America is commendable, okay? But even Islam itself is a religion created to control people, right? And the Pope and the religious rulers at that time were in partnership with each other. Okay, they did form a partnership, and I gotta get that. I can't remember the name of the book, but I'll talk about this. But I gotta do a video, an in-depth video on this stuff. Anyhow, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.